Good morning and welcome. I had intended to go live on the Four States page this morning with my Warm Vinyasa class, but this lay plans of mice and men, for some reason I can't go live on that page. So I'll do it here. Hopefully you guys will find me and join me if you had intended to, and we'll rock on with it. I have a plan for this morning, but as always, even if I have the same plan, I just start moving and see what happens, and sometimes I ad-lib. This is Warm Vinyasa. When the world's not so crazy, I teach it at 9:15 a.m. at Four States Yoga in downtown Joplin at 5th and Wall. This morning I'm in my own little studio, so sorry for any limitations of space with the video. It's only an 8x8 room, so I'm doing the best that I can for you. And I have my door closed, I have my space heater on, I have my humidifier going, just to get that nice warm vinyasa feeling. Today's session is focused on opening the muscles that we need to open for a good bridge wheel pose at the end of our practice, and just moving and finding joy in movement, because that's always the way I like to teach. If you have them handy, you might find some blocks useful, especially for the first pose. Because to start out, we're going to come to a supported hero position, which is essentially kneeling down with your legs on either side of the blocks. I suggest the blocks maybe perhaps between the ankles, sitting your hips back down onto the blocks if this is okay for your knees. If it's not okay for your knees, feel free to take any seated comfortable position. And we're just going to start to connect to our breath here. So inhale, and I just realized that I forgot my microphone, which might be very helpful to people in TV land, because it is a little hard to teach yoga and to make the sound carry well enough that you all can hear me. So we'll add this in here. I apologize. Perfect. Now we can get started. So seated with those blocks between your ankles, if that's with your knees, we're going to start connecting to our breath this morning. So think about closing your eyes, letting all your cares and worries go to the side for just a moment, focusing in on yourself, the work that we're about to do on our mat. Drop nice and tall through the spine, tip the chin down, and just begin to inhale long and deep. Exhale, side out. Inhale. Exhale, side out. Now continue to make that same HA sound in the back of your throat on the inhale and the exhale with your mouth closed. Breath long and deep. This is called Ujjayi breath. It helps us just to bring the focus internal, to warm the air as it comes into our body. It's very healing and soothing for our body. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. You continue with that. I just remembered that I don't have music for this video because I didn't want to get shut down on Facebook. So I'm going to throw a link in the comment that wants to add in some music for themselves. Great. Continuing those long, deep exhales. Let's begin to stretch the triceps, because amazingly we need the whole front of our body open to do well for bridge and wheel. So let's begin by taking your right arm up behind you, hand on the shoulder, left hand pressing gently on the elbow, pushing the arm further back, continuing those long, deep breaths. Let's release the right arm, take it to the left side. So again, the hand reaching down the shoulder blade, the other hand pushing the elbow straight back. Long, deep breath. Release those arms, sit up gently, remove the blocks from behind you, and this time we are going to find support on our toes. This is a position called fire toes, so you curl your toes underneath you as you do when you are doing plank position, and you sit your weight back over those toes, and we can learn to hold that for up to 3 minutes. So we're going to continue our tricep stretch with fire toes. So bring the right arm back above your head, this time aiming the hand down to the opposite shoulder and pushing the elbow down diagonally. Let's hold for 5 breaths to continue to stretch the lats and the triceps. Release that side. Let's take it to the other side. So left elbow up, left hand reaching for the right shoulder, pushing the elbow diagonally down. 5 breaths. Breaths can seem incredibly long on those fire toes, so come forward on your hands and knees. Find child's pose, and for just a moment, pat those toes out on the floor, release that stretch, make yourself forget it. Now knees under hips, shoulders over wrists. We're going to begin some cat-cow. So inhale, take your navel towards the floor, your chin reaching up as you arch through the spine. Exhale, take it the opposite direction. We want to look like a Halloween cat. Inhale slowly up, navel is the last to lock into position. Exhale slowly down. Follow your own breath for 3 more times. Inhale up. Inhale. Inhale. Okay, we're going to take a child's position. We're going to make use of those blocks to help continue to open our arms, open our shoulders. So set your blocks approximately where your hands would be in plank position. Set your hips back over your heels, wrist to the block, and sink your head and shoulders down between them in a modified child's pose. 7 breaths here. Gently crawl your way back up, release the blocks down. Let's put them on the mama block setting, the middle setting. And this time we're going to come forward into puppy pose with our elbows on the blocks. So puppy pose is when our hips are over our knees, and you may have to adjust the blocks forward. So hips over knees, chest sinking down in between, as if it could reach the floor. We're going to have our hands in prayer position here, and take it from thumbs touching the shoulder blades to thumbs rotating out. So inhale back, sinking your chest down, exhale forward. 3 more rounds. Inhale. Look forward, gently crawl your way up from that. Set the blocks off to the side. Push up into the first downward facing dog of the day. Remember, in downward facing dog, the feet and hands are hip width apart. Bend your knees if you have to. The goal is to shoot your chest back as close to your knees as you can get it. So there's one long line from fingertips to tailbone. Set the heels if you can. Find some movement here because it's first thing in the morning. We might need to wiggle. Continue to warm up our glutes. Remember our hamstrings by pedaling our heels like we're on a bike. Step halfway forward, feet as wide as the mat. Drop the hips back down into yogi squat. I always like to find one early in the session to continue to work the creaks out of my hips. So you might just twist side to side here. Take the right upper arm further down on the leg, set the palm to the floor, and open up in a twist. Bring it back, take it to the other side, so left upper arm further down on the knee and open the arms. Look forward, let's plant the hands, step back into plank, and lower all the way to the mat. Hands underneath the shoulders, elbows tied into the body. We're going to push up into cobra. Feet together, pressing into the mat, raise the chest. Take support here, see if you can bring your hands up off the mat, and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax it down to the mat. Again, push into the hands, raise up, see if you can go a little higher this time. Arms still bent, not taking the hands off the mat. Hold, reaching through the chin for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. Relax it down to the mat. Maybe hands move out just a little bit further. Inhale up, elbows tight to the body, and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, relax it down. Still seeking core activation. So reach back, toes still together. Interlace your fingers behind you. We're going to lift the chest, lift the legs in locust. Arms go as high as they can. So inhale, come up. See how far you can take the arms off the body. And hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax it down to the mat. Make a pillow of your hands. Reconnect with your breath. Alright, place your hands in front of you. Let's take Sphinx for one moment. So elbows as far apart as your forearm distance. Pushing the chest down, raising the chin, stretching through the chest. And now, guess what we're going to do from here? Push into your arms, come up to forearm plank. I like to interlace my hands. Be nice and straight through the body. You don't want your hips too high because you take it out of the core. So hips in line with the shoulders, in line with the knees. And hold here for 5 breaths. Set the knees down, push it back into tabletop. Shoulders over wrists, hips over knees. By reaching the right heel up behind you, push through that heel to the wall behind you. Raise your left arm, hold the navel in to support your position, and hold here for 5 breaths. Release it down, take it to the other side, extend the left heel as if you could push the wall behind you away. Raise the right arm, be sure and hold the navel in to protect the spine, and hold for 5 breaths. Looking at a point just in front of your fingers to help you keep your balance. Set it down, take it to the other side. Push out the right heel. Raise the left hand. Option to stay here. Option to reach back. Take that foot. Extend up through the leg. Maybe if you have it, look back over that shoulder and hold for 5 breaths. Quick breath down because it's a hard position to hold. Relax the back down. Extend through the left heel. Right arm. Option to stay here. Option to reach back. Catch that foot. Push up through the foot. Stretch back through the shoulder. Look back and hold for 5 breaths. Release it back down. I feel like my core is activated. Hope you do it as well. Push back into downward facing dog. Option to take child's pose anytime that is right for your body. Look forward to the space behind your hands. Step or hop into that space. Feet as wide as the shoulders. Let's take a quick ragdoll here. So grab your elbows, find any wiggles, side to side, that you need to continue warming up your glutes, your hamstrings, your side body. Be really long to the crown of the head. Roll your weight forward on your toes and feel how that feels different in your body. Release the hands to the mat, gently roll all the way up. I come from the Payo world. We have a bit of a break between sections. So right quick, if you need to blow your nose, because Warm Vinyasa is good for that. If you need to get some water, feel free. And we're coming back to 3 rounds of sun salutations. Sun salutations. We are at the head of the mat, heels together. We have 3 rounds of sun salute A. And I'm going to take my mat just back a time. So hopefully it's easier to see me. So 3 rounds of sun salute A. Inhale up. Let's take a back bend because that sounds like it would feel good this morning. So arms go to like football goalposts. Come up. Exhale, hinge forward. Inhale, hands to shins. Exhale, step back to plank. Lower halfway with control. Knees or toes, elbows tight into the body. Inhale, flat the feet, open the chest. Upward facing dog. Exhale, roll over the toes. Downward facing dog. 5 breaths here. Look forward to the space behind your hands. Step or hop into the space. Inhale, round flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, arms out and up. Exhale, hands down to heart center. One more time. Remember that because of music rights, I put a music link in the comments. If you want some music, just click on that in the background. All right, inhale up. This time, let's take the side stretch. So grab your left with your right. push your hips to the left as you come towards the right. Half moon. Think about opening that shoulder so you can look up at the ceiling. Inhale back up to center. Let's take it to the other direction. So ground your right wrist with your left hand. Push your hips to the right as you come to the left in half moon. Open that top shoulder so you can look up at the ceiling. And come back up to center. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, down flat back. Exhale, plank, lower halfway with control. Elbows tight into the ribs, knees or toes, your choice. Flat the feet, open the chest. Upward facing dog. Exhale, roll over the toes. Downward facing dog. 5 breaths here. Look forward to the space behind the hands. Step or hop into the space. Inhale, long flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, arms out and up. Exhale, hands down to heart center. One last round. Inhale up. Exhale, back bend. Inhale, center. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, belong through the crown of the head. Exhale, plank. Lower and chaturanga. Flat the feet, upward facing dog. Exhale, roll over the toes. Downward facing dog, 5 breaths here. Inhale, look forward to the space behind your feet. Long flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, arms out and up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Alright, 2 rounds of Sun Salute B with some Rachel-isms. So we're going to begin by dropping the hips, dropping the fingertips. So knees are over the ankles, hips just shoot back. Inhale the arms out and up to chair. Tuck that tailbone, come an inch lower. We'll see if you can roll your way forward into your feet. Begin to push up to mountain pose. Be as long as you can from your fingertips to your toe tips. Hold here for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. Still on your tippy toes. Push those hips back. Come back into chair. Set your heels down, tuck your tailbone, take it an inch lower. Extend the legs, palms to the floor, forward fold. Inhale, belong to the crown of the head. Exhale, plank, lower halfway with control. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Toes, heels together, raise your right heel to the sky. Step it forward. Beside the right hand bent to 90 degrees, back heel down, core strength to come up. Warrior 1. Hips parallel to the short side of the mat. See if you can tuck your tailbone, go an inch lower, see 90 degrees, and that front leg. Take your gaze up towards your fingertips. Exhale, release. Go through your flow. Raise your left heel behind you. Step it forward. Beside your left hand bent to 90 degrees. Inhale up. Again, hips parallel. Tuck the tailbone. Come an inch lower. Glue the back edge of the back foot down to the mat. Gaze at your fingertips. Breathe. Exhale, release it down to the floor. Go through your flow, 5 breaths, and downward facing dog or child's pose as you need. Look forward to the space behind your hands, so hop into that space. Inhale, long, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Drop the hips, drop the fingertips. Inhale the arms out and up. Pray your hands at heart center. Twists are good for digestion, so let's take the twist. Left elbow to the right knee. Try and keep your knees together. Push into your hands to stack your chest, your shoulder blade, shoulder over shoulder. Inhale back to center, right elbow, left knee. Inhale back to center, extend the legs, hands down to heart, center, one more round, sons of loopy. Gonna check on one thing. All right, back to the mat. Water if you need it. All right, again, Sensulubi, remember, starts with chair. So drop the hips, drop the fingertips. Inhale the arms out and up. Tuck the tailbone, come an inch lower. Hold here. Extend forward, extend the legs. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, forward fold. Step back into plank, go with your flow. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Bring your toes, heels together. Raise your right heel to the sky. Beside the right hand. Set the back foot down. Warrior one. From here, we're going to get back to Sensulubi, but let's do a couple other poses. So open your hips, open your fingertips, warrior two. You should be open to the side wall, looking out over your front arm. Again, think about tucking your tailbone, coming an inch lower in that front leg, shoulders over hips. Hold here. Extend that front leg in triangle, reach forward, but down. You can take a C grip to your ankle. You can put your hand on a block. Be really long from fingertip to fingertip, hips open to the side of the room. Inhale back up to warrior two. Come down into extended side angle. So let's take the forearm, right forearm to the right thigh. Take the left arm up and over. Be super long from fingertip to toe tip. Look up past that shoulder at the sky. For extra challenge, you can run your hand down that leg. Push the arm into the knee into the arm. Inhale, come all the way back up. Warrior two. Straighten the feet. Take pigeon toes towards your right foot is forward. So whatever side that puts you on. Come up nice and tall through the crown of the head. Pigeon toes slightly in on both sides. We're going to take a nice forward fold here. Fingertips to the mat between the toes. Inhale up, one foot back. Exhale, forward fold. Roll the weight forward on your toes, being long through the back, reaching the crown of the head for the floor. Inhale, come all the way up. Front foot back. Come back to warrior two. Close the hips, close the arms. Warrior one, you might need to bring that back foot in slightly. Exhale, release down to the floor. Remember, that's absolute B. So go through your flow. So come forward over your fingertips, lower with control. Open the chest, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Toes, heels together. Left heel to the sky. Step the left foot forward beside your left hand. Set that right heel down. Inhale up to warrior one. From here, we're going to do the same sequence. So open the hips, open the fingertips, stare out over that front arm. Tuck the tailbone, come an inch lower. Warrior two. Straighten that front leg, reach forward a bit down, triangle. You can take a C grip to that shin, put your fingers on a block if the floor feels far away. If you're super talented, you could take that peace finger grip to your big toe. Stack rib cage over rib cage, shoulder over shoulder. Think about being between two planes of glass. Inhale all the way up, bend that knee, back through warrior two. This time, we're going to take extended side angle. So forearm to that thigh. Top arm comes up, one long line from fingertip to toe tip. Added challenge, you can reach this hand towards the floor, push into the knee with the arm, into the arm with the knee. Look up underneath your shoulder towards the ceiling. Inhale all the way up. Rotate your feet in, slightly pigeon-toed on both feet. Inhale up tall through the crown of the head. This time, let's roll the shoulders open, interlace the fingers. Heels of the palms together, arms as straight as you can get them and as far away from your back as you can get them. This is a chest opener, so focus on keeping the chest nice and open. Be tall through the crown of the head. Exhale, hinge forward. Again, roll the weight forward on the toes. Reaching the crown of the head for the floor. Inhale up, long flat back. Bring it back to warrior two by taking those front toes forward. 90 degrees, shoulders over the hips, reaching through the arms. Close the hips, close the fingertips. You might have to bring that back foot in slightly because warrior one is a shorter stance than warrior two. Exhale, release it down. Let's go through our flow. 5 breaths in downward facing dog. Look forward to the space behind your hands. Step or hop into the space. Inhale up, long flat back. Drop the hips, drop the fingertips. Inhale the arms out and up for chair. Tuck the tailbone, come an inch lower. Hold here for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. Inhale up tall. Exhale, hands down to heart center. Water break, grab some water if you have it. Again, if you're just now joining me, I was worried about getting shut down by the Facebook Music Police, so I didn't do any music for you this morning, but I did put a link in the comments that you can play for yourself. And the background, it was introduced to me by the most amazing Lindsay Bowen of Aerial with Lindsay. All right, checking the time. Don't have my big clock running this morning like I usually do. All right, let's try some balance poses. Remember, balance is different for different people at different times of day. It varies what surface you're on. To help yourself, find a point in front of you to stare at. If you stare at something that's moving, it's really going to affect your balance. We're going to start with a very, very simple quad stretch. So, toes, heels together. Catch your right foot behind you. Do whatever you need to with this left hand for ballast, but stare at that spot on the floor, thinking about bringing your hip to your heel to your glute, your knees parallel and in line. Be nice and tall, reach up through the crown of your head. The wobbling you feel in your knee and your ankle as your balance muscle is getting stronger, it's not a problem. All right, release that foot down, shake it out. Let's take it to the other side. So, grab your balance on your right leg, reach back and catch the top of your left foot. Bring the heel to your glute. Try and have your feet, your knees parallel. Draw up tall through the crown of the head, shoulders over hips. Release it down. Those are muscles that we also need to stretch for wheels, so double duty on the balance there. Alright, let's try another balance pose. So again, shoulders over hips, looking down at your spot on the floor. Bring your right knee as high to your chest as you are able. Hold here, draw up tall through the shoulders, through the crown of your head. And holding your right knee. Extend your right arm behind you. And see if you can take your gaze slowly, slowly around to look out over that right arm. If you fall out, just tap down and come right back in. No problem. Again, feeling the standing leg as your muscles getting stronger. Bring it back to the front. Hands to the soft part of your waist. Hold that knee up. Extend the toes. Pump it up there for 5. If you fall out, just tap and come back in for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. Set it down, shake it out. Let's try the other side. Balance varies. Some days you'll be better at it than others, but the important thing is that you keep trying. Alright, go strong in that right leg. Maybe pick the toes up, really grip the mat. Bring the left knee to your chest as high as you can. Grow tall here through the crown of your head. Holding your left knee with your right hand. Extend your left hand back. Take your gaze slowly back to that back hand. If you fall out, tap down and come back in. Gradually bring the arm, bring the gaze back to the front, hands to the soft part of the waist. Extend that leg. Work on your hip flexor for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. Shake it out. Step back to the head of the mat. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale and flat back. Exhale, step back to plank. This time, drop the knees to the floor. Set your hips back on your heels. One more time for that tricep stretch. So right elbow up, reaching the hand down for the right shoulder. Push it back with your left arm. Connect with that Ujjayi breath. Take it to the other side. So left elbow up, left hand to the left shoulder. Push it straight back. Bring it back to plank pose. Still with the knees on the ground, so the right foot beside the right hand, knee bent to 90 degrees. I would say heel toe the foot up to where the heel is in line with your fingertips. Open the foot out to 45 degrees and just really settle into that left hip flexor. We're stretching through the left hip flexor. Breathe into where you feel tension. Bring that foot back, heel toe is slightly back. Open up in the runner's lunge. Stretch really, again, relaxing into that left hip flexor. Option to stay here, option to raise the left foot behind you, to grab the outside of your foot, bring it in as close as your heel, close to your glute as you can, as you open the shoulders to the sky still. Another quad stretch for us. Continuing to open the front of the body to be better prepared for bridge and wheel. Release the foot down to the floor. Let's switch legs. So step the left foot beside the left hand. Heel toe it further forward to where the fingertips are in line with the heel. Open it to 45 degrees. Really push down into that right hip flexor. Breathe into anywhere you feel tension. Bring the foot back to where it was originally. Open up into that runner's lunge stretch. Again, really releasing down into that right hip flexor. Shoulder over shoulder. Option to stay here. Option to reach back. Catch the outside edge of that right foot. Bring the heel in as close to the glute as possible, keeping the shoulders open to the sky. Breathe into any tension that you feel. Exhale, release it down. Step the feet back. This time lower yourself all the way to the mat, and we're going to catch a floor bow, which is essentially wheel position, but on the floor. So lay it down on your stomach. Reach back. Grab the inside of one foot, actually outside of the other. Try and bring your knees parallel like we did in that quad stretch before. Toes touching. Inhale, come all the way up. Push up through the feet. Roll the shoulders back, nice and open. Hold for 5. Can you come an inch higher? For 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. Relax it down. Pillow the hands. Take the head to one side. We're going to try one more round. Again, to set up, reach back to the outside of your foot, of your ankle, wherever you feel more comfortable grabbing. Bring those knees in parallel, touch the toes. Roll the shoulders back. Inhale, come up as high as you can. Push up through the feet. Hold for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. Relax it down. Pillow the arms. Reconnect with your breath. Hands underneath the shoulders, push into the mat, push up over your heels, and flip the legs to the front. We're ready to try our wheel pose. Remember, in wheel, I'm going to turn slightly more to the side so hopefully you can see a little bit better. We want to bring the feet as close to our sit bones as possible. We want to keep the feet parallel because winging them out cranks on our low back and we don't want to do that. So keep the feet parallel. If you need to take them a little wider than your hips, you can feel free to do that. They keep them parallel. See if you can reach down and touch your heels with your fingertips. Then, step 1 is to inhale, push into the heels, raise the hips, walk your shoulders underneath you. You can interlace your fingers and stay here, pushing down into the floor, pushing your hips to the sky. Hold it up here for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. Okay, this next time we're going to go through the options to the wheel. They're totally optional. You can come to that bridge position and hold that, or continue up into the wheel if you feel confident. Remember, anytime we're in wheel, we need to release the chin to the chest before we begin to lower down, and we need to lower down slowly and cautiously. So, step 1, reset our feet, make sure they're super parallel. Let's not crank on our low back. See if you can touch your heels with your fingertips. Inhale, push into the heels, walk your shoulders underneath you. Interlace the fingers, pressing into the floor, and stay here if you want. Step 2 would be to place the hands underneath the shoulders, fingertips pointing towards you, elbows in. Step 3, push into the hands, come all the way up, and hold for as long as you can. Remember that when you're ready to come down, you need to tuck the chin into the chest and come down slowly. All right, one more round. Let's see if you have it. Reset. Make sure that your feet are parallel to your hips. They can be slightly wider if they need to be. Feet close to the sit bones. Make sure you're touching your heels. Step 1, push into your heels. Raise the hips to the sky. Option to interlace the fingers. Stay here, pushing the arm down to the floor. Option to continue. Step 2 would be to place your hands underneath your shoulders, fingertips pointing back towards you. Step 3, push into your arms and push all the way up. Once you're up, try and make the legs straighter, pushing your chest behind you. Hold for 5 breaths if you can. Relax your chin to your chest and gently come all the way down. If I'm not mistaken, it's time to be unwinding. So let's bring the knees into the chest, roll side to side, massaging your low back. Begin to roll forward and back to gently come up. I want you to point your feet out in front of you. We're going to take an easy forward fold. We're not trying to go anywhere. We're just trying to counterpose that wheel that you just did. So reach the hands forward, just relax and breathe. Gently walk your way up. If your heels are not on your mat, maybe scoot back so that they are on your mat. Let's lower with control. So arms forward, let's take it an inch back until you find that place where your arms are shaking. And then I want you to hold there for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. Lower back all the way to the floor with control. Press the palms into the floor, raise the feet to the sky, and waterfall position. If you have a wall handy, you're more than welcome to turn around so that your legs are supported against a wall. Let's grab a quick hamstring stretch, so lower your left heel to the floor. Catch your right leg behind the thigh, behind the calf, behind the ankle, whatever you can do. Bring the toes closer down to your face. If you have discomfort in your low back, make sure that you bend that supporting leg. A quick supine twist here. Bring this knee into your chest as far as you can. Tee out your arm to the right side. Hopefully you have more space than I do. Lay that right knee down to the left. Keep the shoulder blades on the floor. Look out over your right hand. The knee may not hit the floor, and that is okay. Inhale back up to center. Again, if you have low back problems, you can support the right foot on the floor, or feel free to extend it out if you have no issues. Draw that left knee tight to your chest, catch behind the thigh, behind the calf, behind the ankle, wherever you can, and pull the toes further down towards your face. Make sure that your sacrum is glued down to the floor to get the full stretch. Bend at the knee, extend the right leg, and empty out the arms. Drop the left knee down towards the right side and breathe. Rotate it back to center. Let's take a quick fish pose here. So place the feet to the mat, pull the hips up, place the hands underneath the hips. Again, rolling your shoulders underneath you as much as you can. Extend out to the legs, pointing the legs. Push into the elbows so that you're bringing your chest up to the sky. You can tip your head back and set yourself down on the crown of your head. If this is uncomfortable for you, place a block back there for a pillow and just breathe in this position in supported fish. Relax it down gently by lowering your shoulders to the floor. Push into your feet, bring the hands out beside you. Let's set up for final relaxation. So feet are as wide as the mat, toes pointing to the sides. Make sure that your sacrum has a good connection to the mat. Hands palm up about a foot from your hips. I like to push into my elbows, fold my shoulder blades underneath me so that my chest is super wide. As you lay here, just feel everything heavy against the mat. Relax your feet. Relax your calves. Relax your hamstrings. Relax your quads. Relax your abdomen. Feel the muscles of your arms and shoulders heavy against the mat. Relax the muscles of your neck and face. Feel everything heavy against the mat. Begin to wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. Find any movements with your wrists, your ankles, your knees, your elbows, whatever feels good to you. Draw your feet together long, your arms together pointed above your head. Be as long as you can from toe tip to fingertip. Hopefully you're not running into a mirror like I am. Gently gather your knees into your chest. Roll side to side. Lay yourself down to your right side using your right bicep as a pillow. Take a moment in silence to send gratitude to your body for everything that it does for you, and to yourself for giving back to your body with your practice today. Gently push into your left hand and come up to any easy seated position that feels good for you, whether that's directly over the mat, on a block. Draw it long to the crown of your head. Tip your chin down slightly. We have some balancing breathing to make sure you go back out into the world, not too energized and not too tired. I'm going to turn to face you because I miss my classes. Inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Inhale the arms out now. Exhale the hands down to heart center. Thank you so much for the honor of joining you in your practice today. I hope you have a great, wonderful, and energized rest of your day. Namaste.